Hey, what's up, guys? Haven't been here in a while. I'm gonna be honest. It's been at least, I feel like 2-3 months. I haven't been in here done an episode in this, and especially when I was, still doing the two mics. It's just something that there's some stuff I forget to say, and there's some things I want to talk about, and I forget when it's when there's a second microphone, and that's just it's really nobody's fault, probably my own. But in reality, it's just like something I was like, you know what, this is I got to go back to kind of how I was doing it before, and I thought to myself, why not just do this like just I don't know, maybe like once a week, once or twice a week. 'Cause I do want to do the Spanish one again. I liked it. Helped me work on my Spanish. Helped me do a lot of stuff, but. I'm gonna be doing these solo ones at least once a week, once in every while, especially till I get things kind of situated. A few things I'm working on, to be honest, and it looks great. The future looks great, but it's just I gotta stay patient. Gotta stay on my shit, But oh yeah, hope you guys are staying safe, staying all right in these fucking crazy ass fucking times. Well, they're not in crazy times. They're just great times. 2020's been gone for a long fucking time. But yeah, definitely, guys. Crazy. We got some fights coming up. We got Michael Chandler. I got money on Michael Chandler. I did a bet, $50. It's a pizza. No, that was for Ferguson. We had boxing that just passed. Canelo beat Billy Joe Saunders. But enough of that other talk. We'll talk about that when Tits McGee is here. But there's just things that have been coming to my mind that I've been wanting to talk about, and I get into different conversations and all that, and they just go away for a little bit. So I figured if I do this just by myself, you know what? And also it's something that I still need to practice because I was doing vlogs for a little bit on YouTube too, but I fucking forgot, dude. I tried to do them again. I was like, felt so gun shy to do it, and I know I shouldn't, but it is what it is. I'll get there little by little. Get back to where it's at, where it should be, or I should at least say where I want to be. You know what I mean? But other than that, everything's been peachy. These past few days, no lie, I've been watching a little bit too much Amazon, too much of some shows. So I think I'm gonna ease off over the next few days because past 2 days I've been just watching a lot. Just sitting on my ass, and I don't like it because I want to do some episodes. I got to do some editing, and I'm just been lazy. Even though we need the laziness, we need that little break. But I think my break has been too long. All right. But definitely, guys. One thing that I've told you guys about this book, Discipline Equals Freedom, but this is actually a different one too. Jocko made another edited version, but in the edited version, he added a few more pages. He added quite a bit. This is much thicker than the other one, at least maybe by 100 pages. But one thing that I've been noticing, or at least in myself, that there's a lot of things that we wish in our life never to have again, never to this. But in reality, you need stress. We need fear. We need all that in order for us to live, to be satisfied with our lives. Because without fear, you won't have bravery. You can't have one without the other because they both need to exist. Like we have fear, but that same fear in us gives us strength to overcome. So at the same time, it gets us stronger. So in reality, rather than some may say that we don't need fear, that fear is the fear is the thing that we should not have. Maybe it's the same time as what we need in order to become stronger. Same as stress. I don't think we can live a stressful free life because in reality, we need that stress to keep us on our toes, to keep us thinking, to keep us always moving and evolving. Especially after reading parts of this new one and also some other books, but on this one it has a really good it details stress, why we need stress a little bit better than how I'm explaining it, And hold on, give me a moment. I'll pull this up right now. All right. Stress, good and bad. Stress is good and bad in order to improve. We need stress. We need to push the body and the mind in order to get better. One of our main physical reactions to stress is the release of the hormone cortisol into the body. It has a multitude of effects, including making glucose available to the brain, generating energy from stored reserves, and focusing energy on immediate threats rather than less urgent needs. It also raises blood pressure to optimize the blood flow of blood throughout the body. But stress can also be bad. If we were under too much stress and cortisol is released into the body too often, it begins to have a negative effect, like a car running in the red for extended periods of time. When cortisol levels remain constantly high, the immune system can become repressed, increasing the blood pressure and causing hypertension. A sustained blood pressure that causes damage to the heart and blood vessels. It can also encourage fat deposits, even cause some levels of bone loss. Just a little brief of what how I'm gonna I want to explain more on it. I mean, if you think about it, think about you not living a stressful free life from work, from school. What are you doing? What are you really doing? What's your mentality? We can get lazy without a stressful free life. We will become what we don't want to be. At least that's my point of view. I believe stress, we need it, but this is just me saying, because especially with work, you guys already know, that show is just stressful on my body just because of lack of sleep and all that, and definitely I don't plan on doing that for too long now. But I definitely feel that where you have too much becomes a negative effect, but you just need to have the right amount of balance. Whenever work becomes too stressful, maybe it's time it's time that life is telling you it's time for a change. This line of work is no longer for you. And we can see that in different professions around in the U.S. Like maybe being a lawyer, maybe being a cop. Certain other aspects. The stress levels become too high, and it's actually a negative effect. Like they say, I think they say corrections officer after a while, like they get so used because it's a high stress environment being in the corrections. They say those who retire don't live past a certain age, especially after they retire. But I don't know how much of that is true and credible. But I also do believe if you get rid of a stress and you don't have no more stressors, I believe you should find yourself something that creates some stress to keep your body at a balanced level. Because I believe in life, everything should be balanced. There should not be too much of one thing or too little of the other. Everything in life is about balance. Even in nature, you have to find there's a balance in nature, whether it's with predators or prey. You gotta have a very well balanced amount. Too much can be harming to the ecosystem, and also as well, too little can be harming to the ecosystem. But that's the same in I feel in the human body. If we were to pay attention, especially to one another, if you really think about it, if we think about our lives with little stress, how are we? Are we truly the best we can be? Are we selling ourselves short by not having any stresses? Are we living a comfortable life? We all talk about comfortability. We all talk about this, but at the same time, being uncomfortable means levels of stress, levels of anxiety, maybe levels of anxiety. Who knows? That one I'm just bullshitting on that one, on the anxiety. That one just came out of nowhere. But with the stress, it's we need a healthy balance. It's just in nature. You take one thing, you have to replace with one. It could be a negative effect. But in order to grow, I believe you always gotta make sure you control at least the balance. You control the stress you give your body. You gotta have that control. If you don't have the control, maybe it's time for you to change the line of work that you do. Maybe it's time for change of state, change of home. Something's missing. But definitely, I feel stress, fear, all that negative stuff that we hear. I believe that we need it in order for us to get better, to get stronger. You know, it's like fighting. You can't get better until you have a great opponent in front of you to make you better. You can't get better if you don't have if you don't fail multiple times. If you don't have that stress of failing, that fear of failing, you cannot get better. Because if you don't have no fear of failing, are you truly going to work as hard? With no fear of failing, or would you truly do your best? Would you put it all out in the cage? Would you pull it all out in life? Because there is no fear. Because there's no fear. Do you believe you would live the same life you do now? Do you believe if you have control over your stress, if you have fear, but you have the strength to overcome fear, or I shouldn't even say if you have, we all have the strength to overcome fear. It just don't want our actions. Do we want to overcome it? Because psychologically and also subconsciously, sometimes we just look for an out. We look for that excuse on why we couldn't, why we didn't. And sometimes it's that same decision making, that same thought process later on in life. We wonder, what the fuck is what was going through my mind at that moment to let fear win? Because fear's not supposed to win. We are supposed to win. Fear is there for us to overcome it. That is the obstacle. That is for us to always overcome, not let fear win. And if you're a God-fearing man or a religious man, you also know that fear in the Bible, if you pray to God, he gives you the strength to overcome fear. He gives you, through him, you find strength to overcome fear. Whether you believe in God or not, that's just the kind of how I see it. But we all have this thing to overcome whatever we want. But the thing is, I always like I tell everybody, it's a fucking alarm. Like I tell everyone, everything's hard work. Nothing's ever gonna be easy. Overcoming fear ain't easy. It's hard work. It's preparation. You gotta prepare your mind. Prepare your mind for the stress that comes with that fear. That comes with trying to overcome that fear. With going with what you fear the most and just giving it all you can to overcome it. It's preparation. Boxing match, MMA, it's all preparation. You fear to lose. Some try to make an excuse for why they lose. Others just prepare harder. Keep a disciplined mind. That's why I feel, especially right now, Canelo is one of the top boxers, pound for pound. Why? His work ethic. His work ethic alone, like this guy's already has hundreds of millions of dollars. He doesn't need to keep fighting, but he does it because he likes it. He loves it. But at the same time, he has the discipline. He has discipline to keep training because maybe he has the fear to lose. He doesn't want to lose. He wants to be the best. But because he wants to be the best, he keeps the discipline and he overcomes his fear and faces the opponents. Same in MMA, same in many other sports. You can't let the fear control you. Fear is there to be overcome. If you can't overcome it, you failed. This life is not about the ending result being a failure. It's about being a winner. And when I mean being a winner doesn't mean being a millionaire. It doesn't mean about having all these possessions. That's not the point. The point is always overcoming these obstacles that have been put in front of you, that not only it's internally but also externally. At least in my point of view, this is how I see things. Does money really dictate happiness? No. I tell people this all the time. Happiness is a state of mind that always has to be worked on. You got to be happy with what you've done with your life, what you've been able to overcome, everything you've gone through in your life. I don't think it's a number or a bank account that brings happiness. Yeah, you can buy stuff that makes you happy. You can buy all this, definitely. But happiness is not just something that just happens out of nowhere. It is You work hard to be happy. You work hard to have that mentality in your brain. I don't believe that it's just a feeling that you just get when you're there. No, it's constant work, making sure you're at that same level every day. You're happy. A mistake happens. Yeah, you're happy you made it. That mistake happened, but you're even more happy that you're able to overcome it. Because if you expect for feelings just to stay forever because it's meant to be, for me it doesn't. Especially when you hear people say that marriage is hard work. If people are really meant to be together, it shouldn't be hard work. At least for some people, for others, it seems that way. But in reality, marriage is one of the hardest things because both sides have to work at it. It's not just a one-way street; it's a two-way street. I'm not married, so this is just things that I've observed other people talk about, others, and what I've learned from them. But again, that's all on you guys. We have so many tools around us to help us prosper, help us be successful, help us be happy. There's tools, books, possibly even movies, because movies basically is another form of book, but it's a visual book. But again, that's on you guys. Don't get mad for not having a house when you have all the tools, but you don't build your own home. And I'm not talking about a house now, like just being in the woods. Let's say you have all the tools to make a home, but you don't put the work in. It's the same out here, guys. We have all the tools at our disposal for all this, for any situation that comes to mind. What can we do to help the stress, the anxiety, how to overcome fear? You're telling me there's no books out there? You can't go on YouTube and search and research maybe some of these influencers or motivational speakers, or just somebody you look up to that has gone through that. You're telling me you can't look at that on YouTube? We have tools at our possession that people did not have 50 years ago. Heck, people didn't even have them possibly 30 years ago. The internet was barely around in the 90s or 80s. I'm going to have to do my research on that one. Yeah, I talked out of my ass on that one. Yeah, I don't know fucking too much about computers, but I know they're pretty fucking old, how long they've been around. But to be exposed to all the information that is out in the internet, it's nothing like it is today. You have information within the palms of your hand, just if you have a smartphone. But the thing is, are you going to put in the work? That's the real thing. Some people don't want to put in work. They don't want to change. They think that change just happens. No, it all starts with you. Accountability for your actions, accountability for what you feed your brain, what you feed your body. A lot of people don't believe in that, but I do. I'm definitely a firm believer in. You can't control what happens to you. The only thing you can control is your fucking reaction. That is it. Something negative happens, don't do a fucking negative. Get out of that fucking mentality and be positive. Because I'm going to tell you this. All right? There's going to be negative always all around you. All right? Negative things will always happen to you. But it's up to you to be the positive. Why? Because in order to create something fucking amazing, to just create energy, it's not you take a negative into a positive. No, you gotta be the fucking positive. You gotta be that optimistic motherfucker. Why? Because a battery has a negative and a positive side. It's not just one or the other. You need both to create something great. Always look around the world when something great has happened, but you look at all the negative that was tied to it. Why? Because it has to be present. There cannot be all positives. This is my point of view. This is why sometimes the greatest things have so much negativity tied to them. But that is what makes it fucking great. You can go around and look everywhere there was something negative, Some people, LeBron is a fucking great player. He's fucking great. What's one negative aspect in his life that people say that can be a negative in others, but it wasn't in him? You forget he did not have his father growing up. It was his mom. She was a single mother. Think about that. You can go around the world and find someone's negative, but you can see them they stayed positive. They had that positive mindset. They worked hard and they fucking created something great. That's everywhere in the fucking world. You don't have to take just that. Look everywhere. Just look at everywhere. Look at some of the greatest boxers in the world. They didn't come from a majority of them didn't come from a great fucking background. They didn't come from a wealthy family, especially not the great ones. Mike Tyson's one of the great ones, and if you listen to his story, it's a pretty fucked up story, man. A man to only feel love when he knocks people out, when he's fighting in the fucking ring. What kind of fucking fucked up shit is that? Or Francis Ngannou. 5 years trying to cross to get to France. 5 years to trying to cross to get to Europe. 3 years later, after training in MMA, he's now the fucking UFC World Heavyweight Champion. What the fuck does that tell you? He was the positive. He had to go. He kept on going and going and going. Even though all these negative things happened in his life, he stayed to be that positive and created something fucking great. So this is why you have to be positive, even though it's fucking hard sometimes, or you don't find a way out. But you have to be positive. You have to stay positive, because you got that negativity. You got that negative energy already coming towards you. But you bring that positive. You create some fucking great thing. You create an energy source that's better than anything else. You know? But don't take my word for it. Just search around the world for it, man. There's so many stories like that. This Buffalo Trace is fucking fire. I'm telling you guys, y'all gotta get a fucking bottle of this Buffalo Trace, man. It's affordable, it's cheap, but it's older than the US by I think 5 or 10 years maybe. That's how long the company's been around. But thank y'all for listening. This was a great fucking episode. I needed this one. This is one shit I've been wanting to talk about for a while. All right, you guys know where you guys can catch these episodes. On YouTube, Randy's Rants, or Instagram, Randy's Rants Podcast. Catch them also on Apple Podcasts, Castbox, iTunes, Google Music, I believe, other platforms. You know, it's all over. All right. But thank y'all for listening. A lot of great things coming. I got a lot of ideas about to come, so definitely keep that in mind. Definitely be waiting for new shit to drop. But love you guys. Greatness one at a time. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.